Welcome back to 5 Minutes Learning. In today's video, we are diving into an exciting case study on how Hyundai Motor Company ventured into one of the world's most dynamic and complex markets, India. Why is this relevant today? Because Hyundai's success in India offers valuable lessons in strategic business decisions, overcoming challenges, and adapting to cultural and infrastructural diversity. As an MBA student, understanding Hyundai's journey can give you insights into real-world market entry strategies, especially in emerging markets. Let's explore how Hyundai went from a relatively unknown brand to becoming one of India's automotive giants, holding the second-largest market share today. But first, let me take you back in time to where it all began. Overview of Hyundai Motor Company in India. Hyundai's story starts in 1967, when the company decided to build 100% domestic cars despite the massive challenges. Under the leadership of Ju Young Chung, Hyundai took a bold step by investing $100 million into building a manufacturing plant. At that time, Korea's car market was tiny, domestic sales didn't even reach 1,000 units a year. Despite this, Hyundai aimed high, targeting foreign markets for growth. In 1976, Hyundai launched Korea's first-ever domestic car, the Pony, which quickly captured 43% of the market. This was Hyundai's first step toward global expansion. Fast forward to 1998, Hyundai's acquisition of Kia Motors fueled rapid growth, taking the company from 10th place in global market share in 2000 to 5th place by 2010. Problem faced by Hyundai in India. Now, let's focus on the Indian market. In the mid-1990s, Hyundai decided to expand into India, a country known for its vast population, extreme cultural diversity, and chaotic road conditions. With over 1.2 billion people and 28 states, each with different languages, traditions, and habits, entering India was no easy feat. The biggest challenge Hyundai faced was India's unique road infrastructure, or lack thereof. The streets were filled with not just vehicles but also pedestrians, cows, and vendors. Traffic rules were often non-existent, and safety awareness was very low. Moreover, India didn't have well-developed policies to reduce traffic accidents at that time. Tackling India's unique road infrastructure, despite these obstacles, Hyundai saw immense potential in the Indian market. India was on the verge of overtaking China as the most populous country, and half of its population was under 25 years of age. With a growing middle class and increasing demand for affordable cars, India presented an enormous opportunity. Hyundai's first step in India was understanding the local market deeply. For example, they recognized that Indian consumers preferred small, fuel-efficient cars due to high fuel prices and crowded roads. In response, Hyundai introduced the Santro in 1998, a compact car specifically designed for the Indian market. The Santro's success marked Hyundai's breakthrough in India. Step-by-step breakdown of the problem and solution. Let's break down the main problem Hyundai faced and the solutions they implemented. Challenge: understanding the Indian consumer's preferences. India's car buyers had specific needs: affordable, fuel-efficient, and compact cars to handle traffic and narrow roads. Hyundai adapted its product line to meet these demands. Solution: Hyundai introduced the Santro, a small, reliable, and cost-effective car that resonated well with the Indian middle class. This vehicle was perfectly suited to the chaotic traffic and road conditions in Indian cities. 2. Challenge: navigating the diverse cultural landscape. India's diversity in languages, tastes, and preferences made it difficult to market a single product across the entire nation. Solution: Hyundai localized its marketing strategy, running campaigns in different regional languages and focusing on the unique needs of each state. 3. Challenge: dealing with India's underdeveloped infrastructure. Road safety was a significant concern, and Hyundai had to ensure that its cars could withstand tough road conditions. Solution: Hyundai designed its cars with durability in mind, especially focusing on suspension and ground clearance to handle India's bumpy roads and unpredictable traffic patterns. Current real-time example: Tesla in India. To better understand Hyundai's strategy, let's compare it to Tesla's recent attempts to enter the Indian market. Tesla, a global electric vehicle leader, has been eyeing India for years. But just like Hyundai, they've faced challenges, ranging from complex regulations to infrastructure gaps. Tesla is still in the process of assessing India's readiness for electric vehicles, which reflects the same kind of patience and market understanding that Hyundai demonstrated back in the 1990s. The takeaway here for MBA students is simple. Before entering a new market, especially one as diverse as India, it's crucial to understand the local infrastructure, consumer behavior, and regulatory environment. Key business strategies and insights. Hyundai's success in India was not by chance. It was built on strategic decisions and business insights that MBA students can learn from. Localization. Hyundai understood that one-size-fits-all wouldn't work in India. They customized their products, services, and marketing strategies to fit local needs. First mover advantage. Hyundai was one of the first foreign car companies to set up manufacturing plants in India. By establishing a local presence early, they gained a competitive edge in terms of cost and logistics. Innovation in financing. Recognizing that many Indian buyers needed financial support to purchase cars, Hyundai offered innovative financing options, making car ownership more accessible. Localization strategy in India. As you know, India is a unique market. Compact cars dominate the roads, primarily because of tax policies and consumer preferences. Larger vehicles face steep taxes, while compact cars under 1000 cc benefit from lower tax rates. This is why compact vehicles make up 70% of the market. At first, Hyundai planned to launch its mid-sized accent model in India. However, market research revealed that the demand for compact cars far outweighed mid-sized cars. Based on this insight, Hyundai took a bold step and decided to enter the market with the Santro, a compact car originally known as the A to Z in Korea. Why the change? Because Hyundai realized that Indian consumers valued compact, affordable vehicles more than mid-sized sedans like the Accent. Hyundai's Santro directly targeted the market leader, Maruti, which held an 82% market share at the time. But the competition wasn't just about price, it was about understanding the needs and preferences of Indian consumers. So, how did Hyundai localize the Santro for India? First, they made significant design changes. The original A to Z design wasn't appealing to Indian consumers, it was said to resemble a local auto rickshaw. To address this, Hyundai went through a complete redesign to suit Indian tastes. For instance, Indian roads can be challenging, with uneven surfaces and heavy monsoon rains. Hyundai raised the height of the Santro to improve ground clearance and ensure it could handle rough roads and floods. Another adaptation was for Indian drivers who wear turbans. The vehicle's height was increased to accommodate this, making it more comfortable for tall passengers. In addition to the design, Hyundai focused on modifying the powertrain and braking system to suit Indian driving habits. Indian roads are often congested, with drivers traveling at slow speeds, then accelerating quickly to change lanes. The powertrain was adjusted to handle this abrupt acceleration, and the brakes were made more responsive. Another key element was adapting to India's climate. India's hot and humid weather places a heavy load on a car's air conditioning and engine cooling systems. Hyundai made sure the Santro had an enhanced cooling system, and since most Indian drivers prefer manual transmissions, they kept the manual transmission option as a key feature. Another interesting point: Indians tend to keep their air conditioning on almost all year round, so Hyundai strengthened the AC system to handle this demand. Now, beyond design and technical changes, Hyundai knew it needed a powerful marketing strategy to capture the Indian market. They recruited none other than Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan as the brand ambassador. At that time, Hyundai was relatively unknown in India, and Shah Rukh Khan's popularity helped create a strong connection between the brand and Indian consumers. With Shah Rukh Khan as their spokesperson, Hyundai launched a 6-part advertisement series, showcasing the Santro as the people's car that suited the needs and preferences of Indian families. This marketing campaign played a major role in boosting the Santro's visibility and trust among Indian buyers. As a result of Hyundai's localization efforts, Santro's sales soared. Within 6 months of its launch, the car had gained significant traction, even threatening Maruti's market dominance. Hyundai's localization strategy wasn't just about offering a new product, It was about understanding the cultural, economic, and geographical nuances of the Indian market. By tailoring the car's design, features, and marketing, Hyundai established itself as a serious competitor in India's compact car segment. Hyundai's vision: building the world that moves as one. Hyundai's global vision, building the world that moves as one, is about uniting mobility solutions to serve everyone, everywhere. Hyundai believes that mobility is more than just cars, it's about connecting people, improving lives, and creating a sustainable future. In India, Hyundai successfully applied this vision, transforming the way people experience mobility. But how did they do it? Let's break down their strategies step by step. To build a world that moves as one, Hyundai first needed to understand the unique mobility challenges in India. India's road infrastructure, diverse customer base, and a rapidly growing population were key challenges to consider. Hyundai's task wasn't just to sell cars, it was to build a system of mobility that fits seamlessly into Indian life. So, what did Hyundai do? They adapted. From understanding road conditions to climate issues and even cultural aspects, Hyundai localized its offerings in ways that its competitors didn't. This made Hyundai's vehicles highly relevant to Indian consumers. One of the key pillars of Hyundai's strategy was localization. Hyundai developed cars like the Santro and later models such as the i10 and Creta, which were specifically designed for the Indian market. These cars weren't just smaller versions of global models, they were built to handle India's traffic, weather, and even cultural preferences. For instance, Hyundai increased the ground clearance of their cars to deal with poor road conditions during monsoons. They even adjusted air conditioning systems to handle India's extreme heat, which resonated with Indian consumers who wanted durability and comfort in their cars. Hyundai's vision wasn't just about selling cars. It was about creating an ecosystem of mobility. This meant that Hyundai also focused heavily on customer service and after-sales support. They set up service centers across the country, introduced financial schemes that made owning a car affordable, and made sure spare parts were readily available. This mobility ecosystem brought convenience to Indian customers. Today, Hyundai continues to push boundaries in India. Their vision extends to electric vehicles, which are seen as the future of mobility. Hyundai is one of the early adopters of electric vehicles in India, launching the Kona Electric and preparing for more sustainable solutions that align with India's push for cleaner mobility. In short, Hyundai isn't just building the world that moves as one by selling more cars. They are contributing to the future of mobility in India, creating cleaner, safer, and more connected transportation systems, building trust with the Indian people. When Hyundai Motor Company entered the Indian market, they faced a unique challenge. The state government of Tamil Nadu initially objected to Hyundai's highly automated production methods. Why? Because it offered fewer jobs to the local population. But Hyundai had a plan. Hyundai quickly realized that they needed to build trust with the Indian people by addressing employment concerns. They hired 3,700 local employees to work on the production line at their Chennai factory. Unlike their factories in Korea, which were 80 to 90% automated, Hyundai chose a more labor-intensive model for India. Over time, they provided jobs to more than 5,000 Indians, becoming a significant local employer. This was a key step in gaining the trust of the Indian government and the local community, but it wasn't just about jobs. Hyundai also had to connect with the people on a cultural level. India, with its tropical climate, caste system, and religious diversity, posed a different challenge compared to Korea. Hyundai found that Indian workers were initially soft-hearted and sometimes lacked loyalty to the company. High absenteeism rates and a lack of motivation were common issues. Hyundai's solution? They focused on creating a sense of ownership among employees. They hired young university graduates for general administration roles and technical high school graduates for production work. This helped build a workforce that was not only skilled but also deeply connected to Hyundai's values. The result? Workers at the Chennai factory enjoyed higher wages than most other Indians, which not only improved their living standards but also neutralized the traditional caste system inside the factory. An important aspect of building trust with the Indian people was addressing the deeply rooted caste system. Hyundai knew this was a sensitive topic. While the caste system still played a significant role in Indian society, inside the factory walls, it had little meaning. Hyundai built a new ranking system based on merit and performance, which gave employees a fresh perspective on their roles in the company. Instead of being confined to their caste-based roles, employees were ranked based on their contributions to Hyundai. This inclusive approach fostered a new sense of respect and equality among workers. And, in the long term, Hyundai's plan was to localize all work so that it would be fully managed by Indian employees. Here's an interesting story that shows how Hyundai adapted to cultural differences in India. In Korea, dining together is a way to build camaraderie among employees. But in India, it didn't work the same way. Due to religious differences and the caste system, Indian employees often felt even more distant after dining together. To address this, Hyundai's managers, like Mr. Kim, took it upon themselves to break down these barriers. Kim would eat Indian food the Indian way, showing that he respected the local culture and wanted to be seen as equal to his team. This helped Hyundai's leadership build stronger, more human connections with their Indian workforce, which ultimately contributed to their success in India. Another challenge Hyundai successfully navigated was managing labor relations. While competitors like Toyota and Honda faced continuous labor unrest, Hyundai took a different approach. They established the United Union of Hyundai Employees, UUHE, and focused on building cooperative labor management relations. By maintaining high payroll standards and creating open lines of communication, Hyundai was able to avoid conflicts that other companies faced. For example, while Toyota faced destructive strikes, Hyundai ensured that they had a healthy relationship with their workers, allowing them to avoid such issues. In the end, the key to Hyundai's success in India was their human-centric approach. They didn't just see their workforce as employees, they saw them as partners. They made the effort to understand local customs, adapted to the Indian way of life, and built a culture of trust, equality, and respect. Building trust with the Indian people wasn't just about producing cars, it was about producing relationships. And it's this human touch that sets Hyundai apart from its competitors in the Indian market. Standardization strategy in India. Standardization refers to creating a uniform, consistent set of processes or products across different markets, regardless of regional differences. Companies typically use this strategy to reduce costs, ensure product quality, and maintain brand consistency globally. Now, when it comes to India, a country known for its diversity in terms of culture, language, and consumer preferences, one would assume that a fully localized approach would be more suitable, right? But Hyundai did something quite different. Hyundai Motor Company has long been known for its efficient and standardized global production system, also known as the Global Production Network, GPN. This system ensures that every Hyundai vehicle is manufactured with the same quality standards, whether it's produced in South Korea, the United States, or India. For instance, Hyundai's Chennai plant, their first in India, was set up with the same level of technological sophistication as their Ulsan and Asan factories in Korea. This consistency helped Hyundai maintain high production quality across borders, aligning with global standards. However, India posed a unique challenge. While Hyundai wanted to implement its standardized global processes, they also needed to adapt to local market dynamics. Though Hyundai aimed for standardization, they didn't ignore local needs. A classic example of Hyundai's local adaptation within a standardization strategy is the success of their iconic car, the Hyundai Santro. In the late 1990s, Hyundai launched the Santro, which was specifically designed to meet the needs of Indian consumers. The Indian market demanded a compact car that could tackle city traffic, offer good fuel efficiency, and be affordable. Hyundai applied its global production standards but adapted the product design to suit Indian road conditions and consumer preferences. The Santro's tall boy design allowed for more headroom, which Indian families appreciated. Despite this localization, Hyundai still leveraged its global R&D capabilities to ensure top-tier performance. This is a great example of how Hyundai balanced global standardization with local customization. In terms of manufacturing, Hyundai applied its highly automated production processes in India but adapted to local labor concerns. The Indian government had initially objected to Hyundai's high automation levels because it feared fewer job opportunities for locals. Hyundai responded by hiring 3,700 local employees for its production line at the Chennai factory. This move was a deviation from Hyundai's Korean plants, which had an 80–90% automation rate. In India, Hyundai's production line involved more manual labor to accommodate local employment expectations. By doing this, Hyundai struck a balance between keeping the high-quality output from its standardized systems and creating local jobs, thus gaining favor with both the government and the community. Another key aspect of Hyundai's standardization strategy was its supplier management. Hyundai brought its global suppliers to India, ensuring that components met their strict quality standards across markets. For instance, Hyundai worked closely with Indian suppliers to ensure that locally produced components, like engine parts and transmission systems, matched the quality levels of those produced in South Korea. This was crucial in maintaining the global reputation of Hyundai vehicles. Hyundai also fostered strong relationships with its suppliers by sharing success, helping them grow, and standardizing the collaboration process to benefit both parties. By adopting this hybrid approach of global standardization and local adaptation, Hyundai reaped several benefits in the Indian market. Cost efficiency. Standardizing production processes helped Hyundai reduce costs by eliminating redundancy and ensuring economies of scale across its global plants. Brand consistency. Standardization ensured that Hyundai cars sold in India were on par with those sold globally in terms of quality and reliability. Rapid expansion. With standardized processes in place, Hyundai could rapidly expand its presence in India. By 2007, it became the second largest car manufacturer in the country. Quality management, produced on site. Hyundai's journey in the last couple of decades is nothing short of remarkable. A company once known for producing affordable, cheap cars, transformed itself into a global player recognized for quality. This shift wasn't just about boosting sales, it was a full-scale brand overhaul. In just 1–2 years, Hyundai went from being seen as a budget-friendly automaker to earning the respect of the global auto industry. President Toshiyuki Shiga of the Japan Automobile Manufacturers Association even said, "The fast development of Hyundai Motor Company was the victory of quality." This transformation was led by CEO Mong Koo-chung's relentless focus on improving quality management. So, how did Hyundai achieve this? Much of the credit goes to CEO Mong Koo-chung. His strategy was simple. Hyundai wouldn't just make affordable cars, they would make cars worth their price. This focus on quality, instead of just cost-cutting, changed everything for Hyundai. Chung's leadership instilled a virtuous cycle at Hyundai. Improving quality led to more sales, which then further enhanced the brand image. Hyundai was no longer just competing in emerging markets like India, they were making waves in established markets like Europe and the US, the very heart of the automotive industry. But what's even more impressive is how CEO Chung managed quality on the ground. He wasn't just sitting in boardrooms giving orders, he was known for his on-site management style. In fact, when he was in Korea, he visited production sites 2 to 3 times a week. Imagine this. As an MBA student, you'll learn that leaders often delegate operational tasks. But not Mong Koo-chung. He personally inspected conditions, spoke with employees, and ordered improvements directly at the production lines. This hands-on approach was replicated not just in Korea but also in key international markets. India held a special place in Hyundai's global strategy. Of all Hyundai's 6 foreign factories, the one in Chennai, India, was the only one to make steady profits. That's right, India wasn't just another foreign market, it was a key battleground in Hyundai's global expansion. CEO Chung considered India so critical that every year, his first international visit was to the Chennai factory. He even toured the construction site of the R&D center, reinforcing his commitment to India's market. During one visit, he told his team, "India is our outpost, and we have to secure technologies that can shut out our competitors." Ultimately, it is a battle for quality. Chung's on-site approach to leadership was especially evident in India. He made sure to visit foreign sites like the US, Turkey, and the Czech Republic, but India was where his attachment was most pronounced. By merging Hyundai's global quality management style with India's local needs, he was able to deliver exceptional results. Take this for example. The Chennai factory isn't just producing cars for the Indian market, it's exporting them worldwide. Chung's constant presence and his strict attention to on-site management played a key role in maintaining the highest quality standards, something that gave Hyundai a competitive edge in both emerging and developed markets. Hyundai's focus on quality management in India didn't just boost production numbers. It solidified the brand's reputation. In fact, Hyundai became the second-largest car manufacturer in India, a market known for its fierce competition, particularly against local brands like Maruti Suzuki. By 2010, Hyundai wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. The company's production system in India was responsible for exporting more than 50% of its vehicles, and those vehicles were meeting global quality standards. The road ahead for Hyundai in the Indian market. In conclusion, Hyundai Motor Company's journey in India has been a story of growth, resilience, and continuous adaptation to market demands. However, as it prepares for its upcoming IPO, which is set to be the largest in India's history, Hyundai faces both significant opportunities and challenges. Let's break down these key takeaways and what Hyundai needs to do to stay competitive in the long run. 1. Maintaining the challenger spirit. In the early days, Hyundai was an aggressive challenger in the Indian market, disrupting competitors with its cutting-edge technology and customer-centric approach. For instance, when Maruti was still relying on outdated carburetor technology, Hyundai brought in MPFI engines, setting a new standard. Today, however, Hyundai seems to have lost some of that agility and innovative leadership. MBA students, as future leaders, can learn from this. Companies must constantly evolve to retain their competitive edge. Hyundai needs to rekindle that fire in the belly, becoming once again a youthful, tech-savvy company that listens closely to consumers' needs. 2. Technology leadership. A path to success. Hyundai was once the undisputed leader in automotive technology, but now, competitors like Toyota are leading in hybrid technology while Hyundai lags behind. For example, the fuel efficiency of the Toyota Camry's hybrid system far exceeds that of Hyundai's popular Creta. As future business managers, it's crucial to understand that technology is no longer a nice-to-have, but a must-have for sustained market leadership. 3. Organizational DNA and culture. Rebuilding from within. One major issue Hyundai faces is its organizational culture, which lacks strong internal roots and relies heavily on industry transplants. This has led to challenges in governance and operational efficiency. As a lesson to MBA students, this highlights the importance of building a robust internal culture that aligns with the company's vision and mission. A strong, consistent culture can be the difference between sustained success and slow decline. 4. Governance and IPO scrutiny. A new era. With the upcoming IPO, Hyundai will be under far greater scrutiny, especially when it comes to governance issues like related party transactions and corporate governance. It's essential for Hyundai to maintain transparency and integrity in its operations. As business professionals, you must understand that going public introduces new responsibilities, as companies are more accountable to shareholders, analysts, and the public. Hyundai's journey in India serves as a comprehensive case study for MBA students, one that highlights the importance of agility, innovation, strong organizational culture, and corporate governance. As future leaders, the key lesson here is that companies, no matter how successful, must constantly evolve to meet new challenges. Whether it's through better technology, stronger internal culture, or superior customer communication, Hyundai's path to future success will depend on how well it adapts to the changing landscape.